All right, what's up, guys? This is Sage with SaigeJonesRadio. I'm sitting here with Talib Kweli right now, the man, the myth, the legend. How are you doing right now?
I'm pretty good.
Welcome to Penn State.
Oh, I'm glad to be here.
Yeah. You excited for the show?
I'm getting there, yeah.
Yeah. What do you do to prepare for the shows most of the time?
Try to just get to the show on time.
So you're from New York, right?
Yes.
Park Slope?
Yes.
Yeah. How do you feel like being from New York has influenced you and your music?
I feel it's completely been one of my hugest influences. My city and my parents are my biggest influences. I think everybody's city influences them musically, but New York, I think we have a special advantage of, having the capital of the world be influential.
So you've been around the block in hip-hop. What is your best way of defining what exactly hip-hop is?
Hip-hop is a tool or a vehicle that can be used as a natural resource. It's a music that goes beyond music and exists in people's lives as a lifestyle.
Okay. And do you feel like anyone can adopt hip-hop to their lifestyle, or do you think it's the kind of thing that you're just born with and it's like, this is what I'm going to do?
Oh, no, the beauty of hip-hop is that it's its adaptability, is that it does adapt to anything. It's like fluid. It's like water. It takes the form of whatever you put it in. You take a classical music record and you break it down and chop up the loop and sample it up and flip it and bounce it. It becomes hip hop, and but it still can be classical at the same time.
To address wormhole, why did you kind of address the topics that you did?
I think that in the digital age, people think that because you have access to information that it means you have information, and in order to properly access information you have to know something first. Right. If you don't know the history of the author of a book you're reading, or if you don't know the history of an author of some random person who puts something on YouTube up, then how do you know what they're saying is truthful and facts? And a lot of people base their conspiracy theories and their fear of the Illuminati on research that's so sloppy that it amounts to slander in a lot of ways,
So how do you define the Illuminati? What do you think of it?
Oh, it's not about how I define it. It is what it is. And, that's what the song is about. The Illuminati was and is an organization that was started a long time ago. That was a counterculture organization that was against government and against religion. And because of that, many of their members were persecuted and demonized. And the whole concept of the Illuminati was demonized in that very religious society. They were standing for women's rights and artists' rights, and they wanted separation of church from government. And the church and the government got together, was like, no, you are devil worshippers. You know what I'm saying? Because why would you go against the church unless you worship Satan? Right. So that's where the whole Illuminati is the devil war Antichrist thing comes from. It comes from stuffy church people. It's not, and a lot of the stuff that you see on YouTube, on the internet about the Illuminati being Satan and the Antichrist, it comes from right-wing conservative Christian organizations, which is ironic because it's like hip-hop kids who are following that stuff. They don't even realize the origin of where they're getting their information from. So it goes so deep that it serves to me as a distraction from real problems. The people that people claim are the Illuminati, the Rockefellers and the Bilderbergs of the world, are dangerous people. The IMF and the World Bank, those are dangerous situations. So you shouldn't dismiss how dangerous they are by saying there's some cult that worships the devil. They're bad enough as they are without them being a cult.
Okay. And so also you went to NYU, right?
Yes.
Okay, so how do you feel like getting a college education, especially NYU, which is a great school, how do you feel like that's influenced your career?
It hasn't. I dropped out 6 months in.
Really?
Yeah, I went there. That's technically right.
So you got in.
Yeah, I got in and I went there and I dropped out and I went and got a job and tried to rap, and then that wasn't working, so I moved back home, but only my mother made me promise to go back to school if I moved back home. Okay. So I moved back home, went back to school for about 3 months, dropped out again, and said, all right, I'm gonna have to do this as hip hop or bust.
So it just wasn't your thing, and you knew music was your calling.
No, but no, it wasn't my thing at all. But in retrospect, maybe I wasn't able to do both. But in retrospect, I would have liked to get a degree. Okay, I think that would have been nice to have. Yeah.
So for someone like me, who I don't have that thing that I'm like, this is my calling, this is what I want to do you feel like that comes eventually?
I feel like you're late.
Meaning what?
If you don't have it by now, you're running late.
So it's the kind of thing that I should be making moves to figure out?
Yeah, you should. Do you go here?
I do.
Then you're late.
See, the thing...
Are you paying to go here?
I am paying to go here.
And you're really late. If you're paying to go to college and you don't know what that thing is, that's not a good idea.
See, so many people tell me the opposite. People tell me, just be patient, just wait, whatever your major's in school.
But while you're paying to go to, so you be in debt for the rest of your life?
Right.
No,
okay.
No.
All right. So
the
make
only,
moves.
Only reason it's smart to go to college and pay this money. First of all, the college tuition is a scam.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
100%.
So if you're gonna participate willingly in the scam, then you got to get something out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like you have to go to college knowing I want to do this, and everything you study in college, everything you do should be focused on that.
Okay.
But I don't believe you, because you wouldn't be here doing this interview with me if you didn't put in your work with this radio show,
SaigeJonesRadio.
SaigeJonesRadio. You have things going on here. It seems like you have found it.
So your new album coming out this month, right? How do you pronounce it? Gravitas?
Next month. That's a good one. I'll take that one.
Gravitas?
I like that. It's gravitas, gravitas.
Okay, all right. So what does it mean? It just reminds me of a Spanish word, but when I looked it up, I didn't find a Spanish word unless...
It's kind of a complex word. When I looked it up, I find that only pretentious assholes really use that word in everyday conversation.
Okay.
So you hear somebody talking about they have gravitas, it's probably an asshole type of person saying it.
Okay.
However, it's still a great word. You know what I'm saying? And I think the actual meaning of the word is with weight or substance, or someone when they speak, you know that what they say means something. It's not empty, but it's used in a political context to talk about upstanding politicians. In the UK is where it's mostly used.
Okay.
But it's also used in intellectual academic circles to describe like professors or people who when they say something you can trust what they have a certain gravitas to them.
Okay, so how did you find this word? How did this come to mean something to you?
My parents are professors, so I think I run in academic circles. That's a word that I've heard all my life. I've never even used the word in a sentence really before I named my album Gravitas. But the last album was Prisoner of Conscience, and while there was a lot of deep stuff on there,
right,
the focus of that album was the music, and for it to not be as deep and for it to be more about the flow and the musicality of it. Mm. So after I put out that album, I was just kind of jonesing to make a deeper album, something that's even maybe deeper than what people are used to hearing from me. I don't know if I achieved that, but that's what the thought process of naming the album Gravitas was. Okay,
so because you're more of a content-based kind of artist, right, rather than all about the musicality, or...
Well, no, I mean, it's like this. I feel like the props that I get for being a content-based artist and being a lyricist overshadow the musicality. But I don't think that's accurate, because if the musicality wasn't top-notch, no one would give a shit about what I had to say.
Okay, that's true.
So I think, for Prisoner Conscious, my focus was, look at this great music. Like, I worked with Madlib, Dilla, High Tech, Kanye West, Just Blaze, the Neptunes. I wouldn't be the artist I was if I wasn't working with such talented producers. Right. So while I appreciate all the love for the lyrics, it's like, so, but since I kind of, got that off with Prisoner Conscious, mm-hmm, now I was like, okay, I wanted to do, the first song I wrote for Gravitas was Wormhole, which is a very deep song. Right. I had a song like that called Distractions on Prisoner Conscious. We actually filmed the video at Occupy Wall Street, but I couldn't clear the sample, so it never made the album. Okay. But I was kind of missing that sort of just no hook, deep ass rhyming, mm-hmm, and something that I could put out actually for sale. Distractions was for free.
So that's where Wormhole came in.
That's where Wormhole came in. The whole like Gravitas being about going a little deeper into life and subject matters.
So as far as your progression as an artist, how do you feel like you've gotten where you are today?
By paying attention to my peers and those who are still doing it and those who come up after me. I'm always excited about hearing new artists and working with new artists and
That's awesome.
Hearing new ideas, and I think that keeps me on point.
So just learning from everyone, kind of taking everything in. Mm-hmm. What are 3 things that you couldn't live without in your home?
John Coltrane Love Supreme, some whiskey, and some crustaceans.
Okay. All right. 3 good things. All right.
Anything else, and we start getting too personal.
I'm Sage. We're here with Talib Kweli with SaigeJonesRadio. Thank you so much for interviewing with us. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you. Yo, this is Talib Kweli with SaigeJonesRadio. Stay tuned.
Oh, you niggas wanna get deep? Niggas wanna kick knowledge? Y'all niggas ain't deep, man. Y'all niggas lost me. Soon as you steady trying to tell me which rappers in the fucking Illuminati. Then I'm like, show me the proof, right?